Welcome to Second Take, the show that focuses on the issues behind the news. With seemingly positive changes taking place in government, the mining industry is keen to play its part in the economy, while analysts have called for structural change in the industry. Mining Weekly editor Martin Creamer tells us more. Welcome, Martin.
Hi, Sashni.
Now, the big news coming out of this week is Mantashe being appointed the Minister of Mineral Resources, and the industry seems quite positive about this.
He's had a resounding welcome. They're saluting him. They're hoping, as people do at this stage, that they'll have something very different from Mosbenzi Zwane, who was errant, who was unilateral, and who has certain big, heavy things hanging over his head at the moment, which it really was not good for South Africa's reputation as an investment destination. Gwedi, on the other hand, he has really grown up in the mining industry. You know, you can see his early history in the Eastern Cape, getting into mining, then coming up here to the Rand and getting very involved in mining, becoming a union leader, becoming a union founder, working closely now with the incumbent President Cyril Ramaphosa, you know, handing over to France Beleni. That union, that National Union of Wine Workers, those people have really continued that momentum with that organization to a point where they now have a president in the form of Cyril Ramaphosa, and you now have a Minister of Mines in the form of Gwedi Mantashe. So the strategy there has been successful. They've got their people into the top positions. They are clear about the power of the mining industry. They know this is the flywheel of the economy and agriculture as well, and perhaps we can have a mixture of agriculture and mining. You know, you never know what could happen. We see that the Chamber of Mines is also welcoming this move. They see Gwedi Mantashe as a man of integrity with whom they can negotiate. You know, with Mosbenzi Zwane, they said we cannot negotiate with that person because he's not a person of integrity. We cannot trust him, and he did things on his own which were not good for South Africa. So hopefully we're entering a new era of mining where we become a newborn destination for global investment.
Now, analysts are calling for a structural change in industry, and specifically aimed at government and labour.
Exactly. So there is a huge onus on government at the moment, a huge onus on Gwedi Mantashe, because what are the two problems in mining at the moment? Politics and costs. And why are the costs so out of kilter with all the other competitors around the world? Because of politics. Now, you know, this arrangement has got to change. There's got to be a structural change, as these analysts say. Otherwise, we're looking at, you know, the throes of death for deep level mining, particularly deep level gold mining. And this is an area where we've still got a lot of gold in the ground. But will we get it out? You know, being mining the way we are, where, you know, the costs have just risen dramatically, particularly labor costs. And why has this happened? Because of the political situation, where even when you need to put certain things on care and maintenance or downsize because they're absolutely unprofitable, it's such a long time before you can do that. So international investors, and we need them, will say, look, we can't come here because the costs are too high. You know, if you're going across to other mining jurisdictions at the moment, their competitiveness is far better than ours. So the two big areas, politics and costs, they've got to deal with it.
Now, in keeping with President Cyril Ramaphosa's sunrise sentiment, Northam is planning on creating 6,500 new jobs in the mining industry.
It's great to hear about new jobs. I mean, and you see Northam, that's always been bullish on platinum and said we're going to grow even though the price is down, because that's when you should grow. When the price is down, they've managed to keep their costs low. They've gone into mechanization in the Boysendal area. So they are certainly washing their face in terms of you know, the nominal return on what you're getting in this business. But the great thing is that they're saying we are jobs positive at the moment. You know, even the deal they did with Anglo-American and the Tamela block at Zondereinde, you know, that has already created more than 300 jobs, and it's going to create more as it ramps up. But there are so many other organic projects that they've got that are going to take on more people. And there are also acquisitive projects, acquisitions that they've got that are going to take on more people. So they're one of the few that are saying, look, you know, we're going to have 6,500 more people in the next 4 to 5 years. So that is a wonderful sunrise opportunity that they're presenting there, and it fits in well, with this sunrise hope that President Cyril Ramaphosa expressed during his State of the Nation address. So we'll see how things pan out, but definitely, mining has a massive contribution to play if they deal with it correctly at political level, at cost level, at business level, chamber level, at training level, at entrepreneurial level, at getting exploration going, because that's what they're not talking about at the moment. It was fantastic to see De Beers saying we've got 19 prospect licenses. We're so happy about this. We're going into Kimberley. We're hoping that we'll go back into Kimberley in glory one day to resurrect those diamond mines. Now, that should be happening in gold. It should be happening in other metals and minerals, because we really do well in those. We're sitting with metals and minerals where we're dominant, but there's a state partnership that has to come to the party. Again, costs. If you go into logistics, getting the coal down to the coast, getting the iron ore down to the coast, getting the manganese down to the coast, the state doesn't seem to realize that it's got to be competitive with the rest of the world. The cost to get your goods down to the port is often more than it costs you to ship them around the world. So, there's something crazy about that. The state has to realize that South Africa cannot actually grow in mining terms unless it is globally competitive. And that's going to be the big challenge for Gweri Mantashe going forward.
Thanks for speaking to us, Martin.
It's a great pleasure, Sashni.
That's it for today. Join us again next week for more news analysis on South Africa's mining industry.